How to write your own job description. I think this is hysterical given that I'm unemployable and a consummate serial entrepreneur. But everybody on SEO terms, and they want to type in how to write your own job description. So that means job description, resume, or for people who are employed. And when you're an entrepreneur, you write a bio. So if you go to Integrated Wealth Systems or LoralLangemeier.com, you'll see my bio and everything about me. So it's a little different in the way that you tell your narrative, you tell your story. But let's talk about job descriptions for those of you who need to do it, and especially those women of you out there who think you're paid less than men. I'm going to say it's because you don't negotiate enough and you don't stand up for yourself and what you're worth. So let's just put that one over there, talk about a job description. What do you need to do? How do you identify your key responsibilities? Number one, how do you highlight your unique skills, right, and your strengths? We talk about roles and responsibilities, like what are you here to do? And then align them to KPIs, key performance indicators. So whatever your job is, you have to produce a result. So in most companies, you have to participate to the ROI, the return on investment of your seat or what you're doing for your job. In some companies, you're just another cog in the wheel, and it's not as critical that you have KPIs. So it's up to you and what you're doing. If you write your own job description and you actually accelerate it in distinctions above everyone else, you're probably going to get hired. And whether it is a job or an independent contractor, I'm going to lean to the independent contractor, but you decide how you want to get paid. What are the biggest mistakes in doing a job description? So we're going to talk about a lot of those. So before we begin, get a pen and paper and let's roll. How do you identify your key responsibilities? We'll start with big, broad strokes. So there's usually 3 to 5 things that you're really good at. So what are those? If you're going to write what you're going to be doing and what you're going to contribute to. Inside of our Cash Machine book, we have a skill set analyzer. So I'd like to give that to you in the link below and just go through it really quick and take a skill set analyzer. It helps you identify. See, a lot of times you are looking at your career, the identity of your career versus what are the skills that get it done. So you can say, well, I'm a teacher. Well, what skills get that teacher job done? What skills get the nursing job done? So what are your unique abilities and what are those responsibilities that you're going to take on? When you're writing a specific job description to an organization, make sure you understand who the organization is. Look them up on LinkedIn, understand about them. You want to speak to their values. You want to speak to their, core initiatives. So you're actually aligning to what it is they're trying to accomplish. Actually creates a better match and a faster match. How do you highlight your skills and your strengths? Again, you're only good at about 3 to 5 things. So take the biggest ones and maybe even do storytelling. So some of my favorite interview questions are, tell me about a time when you had a conflict, how'd you handle it, right? So if you say you're a problem solver, then you need to highlight your problem solving skills. Maybe you go into and have in your mind upon an interview how you're going to actually speak to those things and what you're really good at. What are the things that are getting paid for the most, right? Digital marketing, marketing skills, content creation are typically some of the highest paid jobs that are out there right now. It's actually the fastest growing, runaway train ever since Zoom brought everybody to the internet and everybody's an influencer, so they think, but everybody says they have content or they're ripping somebody off. So really create some distinctions when you speak of your skills and your very specific, unique talents. So you stand out above everyone else. Don't use just the same old, things. And if you're using ChatGPT or some sort of AI to just have it regurgitate, you got to think that it's regurgitating the same thing for the same people asking for the same description. So make sure you edit it and go back in and get really creative about your unique distinctions and what you say is very different. Like a lot of people say they're an author, trainer, speaker. I don't ever use those words, right? I'm an influencer. I actually know how to create results. So I'd rather speak to the results I'm going to create than saying I'm an influencer and I wrote 5 New York Times bestselling books. I don't like that stuff's interesting, but it's not speaking to you and how I'm going to change your life. So be clear in how you write about those things. The last thing I would say about your unique skills is write about soft skills and hard skills, meaning your communication, your ability to manage conflict, your ability to build, team lead. I say, you can't hire initiative and you can't hire drive. That's something that's innate to different people. So if that's you, and like me, I can show up to any room and I can see what I can do to improve the room or make it move and create influence. I got to know how to do that. So I want to highlight those things. What are your unique things that you can do to actually change the energy, change the dynamic of a work environment that you want to go into? Now, before I go to the costly errors, big costly years of doing this wrong, which is not getting any job or getting a gig. In my situation as an entrepreneur, I want to get, missions and gigs. I want you to subscribe to my channel. I'm here 5 days a week. I want you to click the notification button and watch the videos and grab our learning journal if you haven't yet. So you're going to do this over and over and over. And in the journal, it's what date you watch the video, what's the topic, what'd you learn, what are you going to do? In addition to that, I want to give you 2 tickets to my Millionaire Intensive because I want to introduce you to being an entrepreneur and move you from job land. Not that I'm asking you to quit your job. It's just you get taxed differently when you live corporate life. So I might teach you the difference between employee life and corporate life and give you an opportunity to make money in a marketplace. A lot of you think, well, I'm an employee. I don't know how to make money. I hate selling. We're going to give you a new perspective. Because if you're someone who wants to change lives and influence a lot of people and help people, then you need to get to the marketplace and do it and offer them something that is high value, that you deserve the compensation. We call them certificates of appreciation. That's money that you're going to get. The costly years when you're putting your job description together is being super vague. Right? Just kind of glossing over using vague language or indecisive language. So instead of saying, when I did this, you'll say, if I did that. You don't say if, you say when. So be very decisive and directional. So if you're going to move an organization forward, you're going to say that. You're going to influence an organization. You're going to influence the bottom line. How are you going to do that? Write about that in your skill sets. Vague, indecisive language isn't going to get you anyone even looking at your resume or your job description and what you're putting together, right? You want to be impressive and you want to be distinctive. And it's interesting to watch how they write about themselves. And immediately the top talent stands out just by the way they write, from their cover letter to how they actually describe their actual role and what they do for an organization. The last thing that is huge costly error is being too rigid. Being really, really tight in a box. I see this all the time. And although you might be a little more malleable and more flexible, if you say you only do certain things and you're really, really tight, some organizations are going to go for that. Most of them won't. They're going to want you to be a little more of a team player and do what it takes to get the job done, whatever that job is for the organization and their key performance indicators. Start with the job description. That'll move to a resume. And then you're going to move to a bio as you become an entrepreneur, and you're going to have the same content. It's just going to be presented differently. So if you have any questions, go to AskLoral.com. We can help you put any of this stuff together. And if you need, bios, understand how to write a book, any of those kind of things, we know how to do any of that. So the last thing I want to give you inside the show notes is a strategy session. Call in, talk to our team about where you are, what you want, and how we can be a solution to you having the goals and dreams you want. We were here every day. So we'll be back tomorrow with new content.